What's up, YouTube? I am out in my backyard right now filming, and believe it or not, I have not invested in a tripod yet or even a Gorilla Pod or any kind of filming accessory, so I still just film on my phone. I did upgrade to an iPhone 7, so I'm in my backyard and I do not have any of those things that will hold my camera. So what I actually did is I rigged you guys up on a bunch of vines and stuff, so it's kind of cool. It's like nature's holding my phone for me while I film this for you guys. But it's pretty cool. I enjoy it out here. It's kind of peaceful besides the neighbor dog and things like that. So besides the natural elements that I can't control, I just want to make sure I can get this video out for you guys. I know I haven't posted in a minute, but I wanted to make sure to be posting some kind of content and keep up with it as much as I can. So today we're going to talk about my fears. I am a person that likes to be prepared for absolutely anything. That goes back to my roots of being young. I've been through quite a bit for being only 21 years old. I was actually in Hurricane Katrina. I survived Katrina with a bunch of my family members. It scattered us across the country, uprooted us from very young. So I've always been very into being prepared for the worst case scenario. And so I have that mindset whether I like it or not. When I approach anything in life, any major decisions, I like to think about every single possibility, every single aspect of it, and make sure that I am prepared for that and that I can handle that. It's a curse and a blessing, because a blessing, I can be prepared for anything. I feel relaxed once I know that I'm prepared for anything that could come my way when it comes to a specific decision, but it's also a curse because it makes me sometimes undecisive, because I'm constantly thinking about what could go wrong, when I need to be thinking on the positive flip side. So the reason I'm saying all that is because facing my fears was something that I had to come to terms with when starting T. I've wanted testosterone since the second I figured out what it was, since I came out. At first I thought, maybe I'll be able to manage this without having to transition, and just trying to stay positive without that, because I'm big on positivity. It wasn't working the way I wanted it to. So I just wanted to share a few of my fears with you guys, let you know what I was scared of and how I overcome those challenges in order to decide to start taking testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. So my first one was body hair. I was completely terrified that I was going to turn into a gorilla. I was scared that I was going to just have hair from head to toe. I didn't want that thick, dense hair, I just was not something that I wanted, and I was worried that no matter how much I shaved or waxed, if I freaking had to, that it wouldn't be something that I would enjoy or want at all. I overcame that by just having to accept the fact that there are going to be some positives, there's going to be some negatives, and I wasn't guaranteed to be a gorilla, so there's a chance that I wouldn't necessarily be completely head to toe covered in body hair. I crossed my fingers on that one. I just kind of left that one up to God, and whatever hair I was meant to have, I was going to get. And in respect to that, like my facial hair is coming in. I'm doing an update video very soon, but my facial hair is definitely coming in, which I love. My 5-month update video is coming soon, so I'll save all that stuff for that. Fear number 2, I was terrified of being ugly. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I formed a confidence in my head, even if I didn't believe it, that I somehow managed to front to other people. Everyone was always telling me, even in middle school, when those are like my worst days. Everyone's worst days are in middle school though, but mine were pretty bad. If you know me from back then, you know what I'm talking about. They were rough days, and I always had some kind of confidence and aura about myself, that just where I held myself to a high standard. Now that doesn't mean that I didn't have insecurities. That doesn't mean that I didn't have to battle those things like everyone else does. I just battled them in a different way. I battled them by just kind of keeping them to myself. I wasn't very open about it unless you were in my close, tight-knit circle. And with that being said, I was scared I was going to look worse than I did in the first place. So I was excited that, these masculine features could really change my life and really change the way that I look at myself. But at the same time, it could very much make it worse, and that's something I was super scared of. I did not want it to get worse. It's already challenging enough being born in the wrong shell, the wrong body, with a chest, with not the tools that I wish I was born with. And having the challenges of every female has, that was my biggest one. After everything else was accomplished, after all my other fears I decided were worth it, that was the one thing that held me up, which I know sounds ridiculous, but I just figured that, you know, this is my body, this is who I am, and I know that I'm meant to be male, and I know that God made me this way for a reason. Some people don't choose to go down the path of hormones, and if that works for you, that's freaking awesome, and I really hope that, you know, that is an option for you, and I really encourage every transgender person to explore the route of not transitioning first, just to try, really, just to try to be comfortable in the body that you were given. And I really wish that I was. Lord knows I tried. If you knew me freshman year or 8th grade, you know that I fit into those tight pants. I gave it the good old college try, but it was not meant for me, and thank God. One thing that helped me along with that was that I knew that the effects of testosterone, all the things that are irreversible, is stuff that I would want to keep and never reverse. That was the reasons I was doing it in the first place. My third fear was sacrificing having my own children. This was a huge one for me because my motivation through my whole life was just to give my kids what I didn't have. I'll probably do a separate video about, like, you know, my story, what I've been through, my testimony kind of thing, so I don't want to get too much into that, but I wasn't dealt the easiest hand, and I make the best out of it, and I grew from it, and now I can, you know, help other people go through the same thing. But my motivating thing, you know, I laid down at night at 6 years old and thought about having kids of my own that look to me, so that I could inspire them with positivity and give them unconditional love, no matter what the situation. They knew that they can come to me, and I would give them nothing but love and no judgment, and just stability and happiness and positivity and laughter and, you know, protection, just things that I didn't necessarily have. So me giving up all those things to have biological children was difficult. Side note, I was given some of those things through my grandparents, and I'm very thankful for them. At the end of the day, my kids are gonna be my kids, whether I choose to adopt, whether my girlfriend and when we have kids in the future, whether we choose to have a donor. I wanted to freeze my eggs before I started testosterone, but that was not a option for me financially, and I could have waited, but the pros and cons did not allow that. I was scared of being super angry all the time, but when I came here last year, I started anti-anxiety medication that really helped with my frustration and kind of just dealing with my emotions on the inside. So I got that all sorted out before I even started testosterone, so that was a big one for me. I was terrified of the reactions of others. Now, I will also make this separate video about, you know, Christianity and transitioning and things like that, but I was scared of the way that people were going to look at me for transitioning. I was scared that people were going to see in me what I used to see in other people. I was raised that was wrong, gays are wrong, transgenders are wrong. I didn't even know what that meant till I was 20, till I was 18 and looked it up on my own. And I was just taught that being transgender was disgusting, and, you know, sex changes, like, you look down on those kind of people, and that was never, like, verbally said to me, but it was directly implied in so many different situations by pastors and parents and things like that. And I didn't want that I didn't want other people to look at me like that, because I knew exactly how that felt to look at someone else like that. So I knew how disgusted I felt when I was misled, you know, and I just didn't want people to look at me that way. And the way I got over that at the end of the day was just to, you know, face my fears and know that at the end of the day, I'm sorry for the language, but it doesn't fucking matter. It does not matter what I do with my life compared to what you do with your life. Like, I am just called to love, and God just calls us to love, and I think that that's the most important message that we could, you know, spread to each other. And just, this world is full of so much bullshit that we just really need each other to lift each other up and not compete or, you know, look down on others for their decisions or, you know, their way of thinking, whether on both sides of the spectrum. I was scared of the shot itself, but I've been pretty good with shots, so I wasn't too worried about that. And the last one is weight gain, so I was scared of being super chunky. Now, the weight gain that I have gained, I haven't really directly gained that. Like, it's not like all my fat from my legs went straight to my stomach, and now my stomach's huge. That's something that I thought was gonna happen, but that's not the case. It's mainly just kind of like, it filled in all the areas. Like, no, I don't necessarily have as close to a six pack as when I first got here, but yeah, I don't feel like I'm overweight. I've gained weight. I'm 165 pounds and solid now, but none of that is like fat. Like, I don't feel like I'm overweight. I don't feel chunky. Like, of course, I don't run or exercise as much as I should, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be. So I just want to let you guys in on a little bit of, fears that I faced before taking testosterone, and I wanted to make sure to cover, my side of the story and let you guys know what I went through and how I overcame it. So if you have any questions, just go ahead and drop them below in the comments. See you guys super soon. I've got some fun things planned for you. I promise I'm gonna get them out as soon as I can. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.
Beep, beep.